don't know my team, that's how it goes, man. Please don't mind me. It is as if my whole life I dream. Winning is all I do, I think. Magic tricks when I roll up my sleeves. What you talking about, sleep? I stay up and get things done. I be like, ready, get me some. You couldn't prevent me from taking the lead in this league. I got stripes and stripes, striking. Best not hide your eyes. I'll just a whole dynamite. Let it ignite inside and still be able to remind them why. It's Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Spud Kingdom podcast. I am your host, as always, Woody. How you all doing today? It's Spud King Day. It's game day. It's that time of day. Let's go, baby. Let's get it going. So we got a little bit of weekend recap versus Ogden and Casper this last weekend. We got the stats and standings to get to, of course. The rest of the usuals as far as trivia, hockey rule of the week. Also, I do have a fan interview this week, so we'll get to that as well. Anyone watch the Four Nations final? Like, that thing was insane. Didn't go USA's way, which some of you might out there be some Canadians, which is fine. Great game. McJesus gets the game-winning goal. I don't know if you guys got to see it or not. It's been a couple weeks now, but I just wanted to bring it up because I didn't bring it up last week, and I totally should have. But what a game. It was quite awesome to see. It was a different type of experience for an all-star weekend, I guess you can say. I loved it. So hopefully they continue going with that. And with all that being said, and thank you for listening to me on that, let's get to some of the action. So game one was Thursday, February 20th, 2025, versus Ogden at the Mountain America Center. First period, both teams came out a little flat, but Spud Kings were able to score one of them at least. Ogden had 6 shots on goal. Spud Kings had 6 as well. The Spud Kings would strike quick, though, at 3 minutes and 36 seconds. DJ the Beast McLeish would get his 6th on the year, and he was assisted by Will Donovan for his 16th and Carter Davis for his 5th. This would be all for the Spud Kings scoring in the first. Even though the Spud Kings had 4 power play opportunities, the period would end 1-0 Spud Kings. So, trying to figure out where to put my notes best so I can read them for you guys because kind of need those. Anyway, so the second period, the teams would each get a goal. Ogden would have 10 shots on goal. The Spud Kings would have 9. Once again, the Spud Kings would score fast at 4 minutes, 7 seconds. Sammy Grimaldi would continue his scoring streak and gets his 14th, and he was assisted by Easton Edwards for his 30th and Lucas Ronner for his 22nd. It would be about 6 minutes later when Ogden would finally get one past Durkin, and at 9 minutes, 54 seconds, Ryan Tong would get his 5th on the year. And this would be the only one, as it technically, like, so when the shot happened, Durkin reached his glove out, and it hit his glove, and it bounced into the goal. Got really lucky. But anyway, it did squeak past them, so they got the goal. That would do it for the action in the period. So the second period would end 2-1 Spud Kings. Third period would be all Spud Kings. Don't even worry about Ogden even showing up in this one because they had 2 shots on goal. The Spud Kings had 7. Spud Kings would get 2 goals on the period. First one came at 8 minutes and 37 seconds as Ronnie Wade would get his 8th on the year, and he was assisted by Ryan Rothke for his 8th and Bronson Stable for his 15th. The second goal would come late in the period after Ogden pulled their goalie. At 19 minutes, 7 seconds, Liam Phillip would flip the puck up and out of the zone, and it landed perfectly just before the blue line and crossed over the blue line where Easy Easton Edwards was waiting for him, and he just give it a little bit of a nudge, and empty netter. So Easton would get his 23rd goal on the year. Then he was assisted by Liam on the flip, of course, for his 6th, and then Lucas Carlson for his 11th. Period, and the game would end 4-1 Spud Kings. Spud Kings win. Let's go. So that would help us out because, we did play Ogden. So that would give us the 2-point cushion against them automatically. So that was great for us. Duckern was stopped 17 out of 18 shots for a .944 save percentage. Charlie is now 25-5-1 with a .933 save percentage and leads the league with a 1.93 goals against average. He's 5th in the same save percentage. And we'll get to all that later. I decided to add the goalie stats to the stats and standings portion. So when we get to the stats, I'll get more in depth into that. But game 2. Now, game 2 was Friday, February 21st, 2025 versus Casper, also at Mountain America Center. This night would start off fast and furious for the Spud Kings. Unfortunately, they were unable to hold that momentum and keep it going throughout the whole game. It started real fast. It was looking real good. We're playing Casper. We thought, man, we're 10-0 versus this team on the season already. What could go wrong? Everything. Jeez, why would you ask that? Anyway, first period, teams would match each other in the shots. Only Spud Kings would get in the net, though. Casper had 12 shots on goal, and the Spud Kings also had 12 because they matched each other. The first goal would come quick, and once again, welcome to the team, Bravery Esplin. He would get, at 36 seconds into the game, he would get his 7th goal on the year, and he was assisted by Michael Hillock for his 3rd and Carter Davis for his 6th. It looked like it was going to be a good night, and about 3.5 minutes later, at 4 minutes and 17 seconds, Andrew Schmidt would get his 27th goal on the year, and he was assisted by his tag team partner, Easy Easton Edwards, for his 31st assist on the year, and Bronson Sable for his 16th. This would be all the action for the Spud Kings in the period, and just basically for the period in general. So the first period would end 2-0 Spud Kings. Fortunately, the second period would start. I mean, technically, the penalty started in the first period, but it didn't affect us. But this period would be all Warbirds. Spud Kings would win the shot battle, but it wouldn't even matter. Casper had 7 shots on goal. Spud Kings had 13. First goal for Casper wouldn't take long. At 2 minutes and 16 seconds, Bo Clark would get his 5th on the goal, 5th on the year, and it was a power play goal. And the penalties, this is where they started to affect us. A little over 4 minutes later, Jake Glendine would get his 5th on the year. And the Spud Kings would pick up 2 cross-checking penalties, which would lead to a Michael Pelletier, his 3rd goal, also a power play goal, and this would put Casper in front of the Spud Kings for the period, and the period would end 3-2 Casper. So 3rd period wouldn't be much different than the second. And the Spud Kings, they tried to battle, I guess you could say, but it didn't make any difference. We had a lot of shots on goal. We had a lot of attempts. Couldn't get any of them past their goalies. So Casper would be the only ones to take control. Casper had 9 shots on goal. Spud Kings had 20. Like 20. Like what? 20. I've been talking about how we need to get more shots on goal and stuff because we've been lacking. And here we go. Lead the whole game in shots on goal. And it didn't matter because the penalties. At 16 seconds into the period, the Spud Kings would get their chance on the power play. And at 1 minute, 29 seconds, Sammy Grimaldi would continue that hot streak and gets his 15th on the year. And it was a power play goal, and he was assisted by Ryan Rothke for his 9th and Leo Mantenuto for his 9th as well. Unfortunately, it would be all Casper for the rest of the way. That would be all the Spud Kings would get right there. That would tie up the game. So technically it's 3-3 at this point. And let's see how the game finished. At 6 minutes, 27 seconds, Cannon Lentz would get a power play goal, and it'd be his third on the year. And then that would put them in the lead by 1. And basically, the goal battle as itself would stall out all the way up until 19 minutes and 2 seconds. The Spud Kings decided to pull Sabev to get that extra attack out there and see if we could at least tie up the game in some way. And at 19 minutes, 49 seconds, Gavin Black gets the empty netter for his 5th to seal the deal. And Casper, period, and game would end 5-3. Casper wins. Luckily, Pueblo also took care of business for us, and they beat Ogden 6-0. So they didn't gain any points. Casper with the big win on the year. Like I said at the beginning of this game, previously we were 10-0 versus them. Now we're 10-1 versus them. This is a big start for them on the weekend, and we'll get into that in a minute. Actually, right here, Casper would also the very next night they would take care of Ogden 3-1. So Casper would start a roll beating the Spud Kings on Friday, and they would continue it into Saturday and take on Ogden and take them out as well. So thank you very much for that, guys. We appreciate you. Not so much for the butt kicking on Friday, but for the butt kicking on Saturday that you gave to Ogden, we appreciate. So let's get to the standings. So the Spud Kings are still in first in the Mountain Division with 33 wins, 8 losses, and 2 overtime losses for a total of 69 points. They did fall to 3rd in the NCDC as another Atlantic team took another leap in their division. Ogden's still 2nd, 10 points back of us. Then Pueblo is creeping up on them. They're only like 6 points or so behind Ogden. So watch out for Pueblo here in this last stretch. We play them quite a few times next month going into this last bit of the season. So keep an eye on that. Hopefully we could take care of business and they won't be much of a factor, but we just need to keep an eye on them. So let's get to some of the stats. Charlie Durkin, here we go. I'm going to start off with the goaltending stats. Leads all goaltenders in the NCDC in wins with 25. Goals against average with a 1.93. And he is 5th in the NCDC with a 933 save percentage. So we got to give it up for that. We have a new points leader. We do. We have a new one. After the weekend, Easton Edwards is now first on the team. He's now first on the team with 54 points. Is tied for 6th in the NCDC. Andrew Schmidt is 2nd on the team now with 53, and he's 8th in the NCDC. And Schmidt still first, though, with goals, with 27 of them, and he's 2nd in the NCDC, only behind Joss. Easton is 2nd on the team with 23, and he's 10th in the NCDC as far as goal scoring. An assist leader is still Easton with 31, as he now is 10th in the NCDC, and Schmitty is 2nd on the team with 26 and just outside of the top 20. So I wasn't able to update you on where he is as far as that. So with that being said, let's get into our 3 stars of the week. Hard weekend, we went 1-on-1, but we still got to give props to the players that showed up and showed out. So I have an honorable mention. My first honorable mention is Bronson Sable. He had 2 assists on the weekend, and him and my 3rd star, it was basically a coin flip to decide between the 2 of them because they both had the same amount of assists and points for the weekend, and they both have been showing out over the last couple weeks, and so it was really hard. But basically just the coin flip. Honorable mention, Bronson Sable with 2 assists on the weekend. My 3rd star is Ryan Rothke, also with 2 assists on the weekend. Like I said, basically a coin flip. Ryan's been on a tear since he's joined the team. Bronson's been on a tear all year long, and he's just kicking butt on the defensive side. And Ryan just keeps assisting the team as best that he can. So, like I said, basically a coin flip. Ryan's my third star. Both of them both well deserving though. Second star, Sammy Grimaldi. He had 2 goals on the weekend. He continued his goal streak. He continued his hot streak. Let's give it up for this man. Actually, you know what? Let's do. I mean, he finished off last weekend with a hat trick and everything, and then this weekend he continues to get a goal in both games. Sammy had 2 goals on the weekend, so let's give it up for my second star, Sammy Grimaldi. And then my first star, the man, the myth, the legend, Easy Easton Edwards. He had 3 points on the weekend with 1 goal, 2 assists, and he contributed in multiple other ways. This guy's always showing heart, always showing hustle. He's always out there sticking up for his teammates. Sometimes he ends up in the penalty box, but usually it's for a good reason. Sometimes he gets caught on some bull, but it is what it is, right? It's hockey. Can't complain. But Easton has been showing up and showing out each and every week. He also just took over the number 1 spot on the team for the points. So I had to give it up to my man, Easy Easton Edwards, the first star of the week. Unfortunately, none of our players made the Mountain Division Players of the Week. There was like 3 Pueblo guys and I think a Casper guy. All of them well deserving. They all had big weekends. It just our guys just didn't contribute enough to take out one of those guys to get the spot. So props to them. Unfortunately, none of them was ours. So trivia. Let's get to some trivia, guys. So no one responded on my trivia question that I posted, which is fine. I don't know if it's because nobody really cares about the question or maybe you guys are done with it. So I have a new idea for trivia after this week. I'm going to do one more shot the old school way. I am going to change the question. I am going to give you guys the answer. So after this week, what I'm thinking about doing is asking the trivia question at the beginning of the episode and then giving you guys the answer at the end of the episode. That way it's just all wrapped into one. It's a trivia segment, gives you guys time to think and ponder about it, and then I'll give you the answer. Not getting much responses anymore, so I figured this might be a new cool way to do it. Maybe get you guys to listen more often. I don't know. So the trivia question last week was, who was the Oilers' main enforcer during the Wayne Gretzky era? The answer, I did get one response, and technically the person was an enforcer on the team, but he wasn't the main enforcer. He did go with Gretzky over to LA. So the answer somebody gave me was McSorley, but the actual answer is Dave Semenko. And I think you guys all remember him. He was a big brute type. He was literally the definition of an enforcer, and he was the man that stuck up for Gretzky. You guys try to do anything to Gretz, Semenko was right there to take action. You better be ready to throw hands. So a lot of people didn't even mess with Gretz just because Semenko was on the ice. They knew they would have to deal with them. So answer was Dave Semenko. So this one kind of have an easy question, but it's like a 2-part question. I need the person and the how much. So my question is, who holds the highest tally of goals in one season, and how many did they get? So hit me up with the answer on that on Facebook. I would like to see what you guys have to say. I will post this one, and then next week we're gonna try new trivia segment depending on how this goes. So with that, I think we got a hockey rule that I found. I found like a hockey trivia page, which kind of for rules and regulations. So I kind of used that to do some research this week for my hockey rule of the week. And my hockey rule of the week is too many players on the ice. I believe we got called for this at least once this weekend, if not twice. So I figured let's tackle this subject. And too many players on the ice is not necessarily when there's so many players on the ice. You can have 6 players on the ice. It just depends what happens with that 6 players. So let me get to it. So too many players on the ice is when a player entering the game plays the puck or hits an opponent before the other player leaves the ice. It's considered too many men on the ice. So basically, you'll see sometimes at the game, you'll see 2 or 3 guys jump over the boards and get on the ice, and you'll see 2 guys get off immediately, and then one that's kind of just straggling. If that guy doesn't get off the ice before one of those new substitutes either plays the puck or hits another opponent, then it's considered too many men in the ice. The ref won't call too many men in the ice when there's literally too many men in the ice. If they can see the 6th guy is trying to get off the ice and nothing is taking place with one of the other players, then it's all good. So that is my hockey rule of the week. Too many men on the ice. So now I have a special treat. I finally got you a fan interview. I'm gonna do what I can to get another one this week. So I'm gonna be hitting people up on Facebook, through Messenger and whatnot. So answer if you don't want to do it. That's fine. Also cool. I'm all right with that. I completely understand. But some of you have some really good insight about the team and about hockey in general. So I would like to get more people an opportunity to come on here and speak to me and answer questions. So just be prepared if I hit you up. You can tell me no. I'm cool. A no is a no. I get a lot of no's all the time. That's fine. But if you want to talk, just let me know. We'll set up a time. And I'll send you an invite and stuff, and we'll get it going. But my fan interview this week is a buddy of mine now. He was just kind of like a friend that I would see at a game, because I'd met him working at the games, and he's had season tickets at the beginning. But we became friends, I would say, throughout the year. He's friends with a couple of my friends that used to work with him at his job and stuff. So my guest today is Brian Coulson. So here is my guest, Brian. So what up, Spud Kingdom? I am here today with a special guest. I am here with one of you, one of the kingdom. I am here with Brian Coulson. What's up, Brian?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, my man. How are you today?
Doing really good.
That's good, my man. So, you've been a season ticket holder since the beginning, basically, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Loving it. So how long you liked hockey, man? You grew up here in Idaho?
So yeah, I've most of my life I grew up in Idaho. Really got into hockey when I was in high school. A guy at my work took me to a Golden Eagles game down in Salt Lake
Okay.
and hooked right away. And so then I would once I got out of high school and I was working, I used to drive down and go watch Golden Eagles every chance I get. Usually watch maybe 20 games a year or something like that. Then they switched over to the Utah Grizzlies, and I'd go watch them down there. I know at some point Jackson had a junior team. I used to go up and watch them too. So, yep, been a hockey fan for a long time. Um, I'm a big Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And so I watched them a lot on TV, not so much in person, but yeah.
So I know you were supposed to get the chance to go see him this year, though, right?
Yeah, I did actually. Went and saw them play in Salt Lake, and it was a good game. They got the overtime win. Got to see my boys.
Nice. That's always good when you get to see your favorite team live.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
They're playing a heck of a game against the Rangers right now. I was watching before we started talking.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully I'm
Yeah.
not taking you away from that.
No, no, I'm just kind of following it a little on the side.
That's good, man.
They had a tough game yesterday, so
Yeah, that's what I heard. They gave up like 8 goals or something like that.
yeah. Yeah, you don't win a lot of games when you give up 8 goals.
Yeah, they were just talking about how both of these teams that are playing each other, it's the first time ever that both teams gave up 8 goals the night before, and they play each other the next day.
I don't know if that's something you want to be a part.
No, that's the new part of hockey history, and that's probably one of those you're like, eh.
Yeah.
So you've been a Spud Kings fan since the beginning, man. Like, what draws you to them? Is it just because of hockey, or is it different going to one of their games?
For me, it all started with hockey. I was really excited when they built the arena. I voted for it way back when, and we were constantly waiting and checking and everything. So, I was just anxiously awaiting the hockey, and I was, lucky to get in early and get good seats on season tickets. But something happened that first season. Those kids really played their heart out, and they have so much personality in that. And yeah, I was just completely hooked, not just for the hockey, but just love the team, love the kids.
Yeah, and they played with so much heart. I feel that first year, it kind of really built the environment and who we are as the Spud Kingdom.
No, yeah, absolutely. Well, and they weren't great to start with. They lost a lot of games, and it kind of helped me. I don't know, I was really into, if your team doesn't win, you're sad and it's awful. And watching those kids play that hard, I really didn't care if they won or lost. It was just great to see them. So yeah, yeah, been a hooked fan ever since. So.
I see you, man. Like, when I got the opportunity to work for the arena, I had no idea that like I was gonna be such a big fan. Like, I like hockey and I love cheering for anything local, especially like the Chuckers and stuff. So when we got the team, I was really excited, but I had no idea it would turn in such a fandom and become this right here. I'm talking to you on a podcast, talking about Bucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think they've hooked a lot of us. So
Yeah, they have. And this year's team, holy cow, man. It's like from where we started, which was like an average team, we won and lost about the same amount. Last year's team was a little bit better. And now this year's team being like number 2 in the NCDC, number 1 in the Mountain Division. Do you feel like it's a whole new atmosphere?
it's definitely a different atmosphere when we have a team that's so good. We had that streak of like I want to say it was 26 games and we only had one regulation loss or something. It's definitely a different feeling when you're leaving the game and they win all the time. That's been really great. I'm excited to see what we can do in the playoffs. And that's a whole different ball game there. And yet nothing we do now means we're going to win, but I'm just looking forward to see what these kids can do.
Yeah, me too. Saturday night's loss was only the second home loss this year, and the other one was in overtime. So these
Yeah.
boys are really putting on a show for us at home, especially.
Yeah, I know we're spoiled, it's
We
it's
truly are. We truly are. And the great thing is we spoil them back by showing up 4,500 strong almost every game. I think we're over 90,000 is something like that for the year is what they announced last game. So it's just amazing.
yeah, it's incredible. It's great to be a part of. Our city has really embraced the team. And yeah, so many of us go and so many of us talk about them and are excited about them. And so it's really neat to be a part of that.
And as I was mentioning with some of my previous guests, and it's made something awesome to do for the winter time and something to talk about during the winter around here as well.
Oh yeah, so much. My work is always really slow in the winter, and so, I don't really make much money. So typically I sit around home, and so having this where I buy my tickets in the summer and then just go to games all winter, it's just been just delightful. I'm loving it. Loving it.
I bet. I bet. I've had the opportunity. You've invited me to a couple games. I've had the opportunity to sit with you. And where you sit and the tickets that you got, man, you got a heck of a deal in the beginning.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky. I got in pretty early, and I've always been a big goalie guy. And so I've always loved to sit behind our team's goalie 2 of the 3 periods. And so, yeah, that's the seats I was able to get. And so, yeah, I mean, I've got great seats. I love them, and I get to watch, Charlie stand on his head every game right behind him. And, it's wonderful. So, yeah.
And he's such a delight to watch. He's so good, and the seats are like there's no other bird's eye view like it, man. When you're sitting right there, and literally you're basically have the vision of Charlie, and you're just seeing him do his thing. It's masterful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you see how fast the game moves in front of you. I can't keep up, so it's really impressive to watch how he does it.
I know there's been a couple times that I'm like, how did that just go in? And we're like, that doesn't matter. Oh.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always have to go home a lot of times and go watch the replay on Flow Hockey and be like, what did I see? It's like,
Yeah, what was the other angle like?
yeah. What exactly did I just see? I know I was happy because we scored, but yeah. So yeah, it's been great. I'm looking forward to when you can come out and join me again.
I'm thinking it's gonna be real soon. The problem that I've been having is like around game time, around 7 o'clock is when I really start hurting because of all the activities I've been doing throughout the day. So
Hmm.
that's been my biggest holdup is like right when game time starts out, that's when I'm like, just in a lot of pain at that point, and I'm like, can I go to a game? No, I can't.
Yeah. Well, hopefully soon. We don't
Yeah.
have a ton of games left, so
No, there's not much left, and then there were playoff bound, so hopefully I can get out there soon. I'm hoping in the next week or so is the plan. So,
cool.
who's your favorite player to watch? Is it Charlie, or do you have a few of them?
I have a few. I have a hard time. I really fall in love with the team, and I have a really hard time picking individual players. Because players come and go. I mean, but I I really like Charlie. I really like Tim Kim.
Yeah.
It's really really sad to see him go. And then there have been some different ones over the years that I guess over the 3 years, that really stood out to me. Um, you know, some of them were kind of short lived in that, so but yeah, I love watching Charlie. It feels to me like he's gotten better as the year goes on. And so it
100%. One of
yeah, so if I had to pick a guy right now, I think that's who I'd have to say.
Yeah, that's a great one to pick because man, he has been holding it together for us. Um, I was looking at some stats today because I'm writing the show for the week and stuff, and he's like leading the league in almost every category, or at least top five in every goalie category. So he's
Hmm.
amazing. I'm thankful to have him on the team this year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're lucky. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it was sad to see Tim go because he was also one of my favorite players. Because he always seemed to be right place, right time, good passes, a sniper shot, and he's just a great kid. So it was sad to see him go.
Yeah, he was really fun to watch because he was always so invested in the game and always so emotional and in it, and so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sad to see him go. But this team that we have right now is fun to watch. Saturday, I don't know what happened. We were 10-0 versus Casper this year until Saturday happened, and it's almost like we scored those 2 quick goals and we got complacent. I'm not sure what happened. Um, could you did you feel like a different vibe after that, like with the players, or was the atmosphere different? Like what
You,
happened?
you know, the guys didn't play bad. I mean, you look at the shots, we still outshot them by quite a bit. We had a lot of
Mhm.
chances. We lost the special teams battle.
Yeah, that was the big one.
That hurt. We gave up, I'm not positive. I think it was 3 power play goals. And we have about a 90% penalty kill rate. So that's unusual for us. So I you know, I don't think it was too bad of a loss. I mean, you see Casper went and beat Ogden, yesterday
It
too.
was like
So,
we gave them
you know,
momentum or something.
yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, they looked as good as I've seen Casper play all season. So,
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm too worried about it, but we definitely didn't play quite to our level, and but I thought overall we carried the overall play, and a few of the goals they got were just actually pretty impressive, and you can't stop them all. So,
No, you can't. I think the biggest problem was the penalties, though. Like, I swear, like, every time I turned my head, there was a new cross-checking. Like,
yeah.
it's like the theme of the night, cross-checking, 2 minute, cross 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think that's what really hurt us the most in that game was just the special teams. We didn't win that battle, and yeah, we you take a lot of penalties. Eventually, they'll score, and that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, and for being, like, number 1 penalty kill team in the league, too, that really hurt us. Like, you're right, though. We gave up 3 power play goals, and they were all, like, almost back to back to back, too, and they were, like, killers.
Yeah, yeah. So it's tough to win when you give up, 3 power play goals. You're you're kind of up against the 8 ball, but I mean, it was still a good game. I
Great
didn't think
game.
the kids played bad, and I mean, they carried the play for a lot of the game, and sometimes they just don't go in for us, and is what it is, you
It's
know.
the way the puck bounces sometimes. It was like the goal that Charlie gave up on Thursday night. He literally swiped it, it hit his glove, and somehow bounced and went into the net. So
Mhm,
just one of
mhm.
those things. The puck was bouncing the other way yesterday or on Friday night.
Yeah. Well, and hockey's a funny sport, I mean, that's why they play the games, but any team can beat any team on any given night. Sometimes the bounces are just just not in your favor, and sometimes they are, and you look great. And so,
Yeah, and all the moves that all these teams are making right now is probably making a big difference too. Like Casper's made a lot of moves in the last month or so. They got a couple of our former players on the team now. So it's just kind of like parity in the league. Like everybody is getting as good as each other, trying to one up each other and whatnot.
yeah, yeah. Well, and yeah, like I said, Casper looked as good as I've seen him look all year.
Mhm.
In any of the games, home or road. So yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
my hat's off to him, and yeah, I hope we get him next time.
Yep. I think that's the last time we play them this year unless we meet somehow in the playoffs, but well,
Hmm.
so Brian, I wanted to thank you for joining me today and taking the time out of your day to come on and talk a little bit of Spud Kings with me.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me. It's good to be on the show, and it's good to see you.
Yeah, no problem, man. And good to talk with you. It's good to hear your voice. Hopefully, I can be there in person with you pretty soon, and we can slap some glass together.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me know as soon as you're ready.
I will, my man. I will. Thanks for joining me again, buddy.
All right, go Spud Kings.
Go Spud Kings. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate you for coming on the show and talking with me, man. Really awesome of you. I really, really, really appreciate that. Um, Good insights. I know you're a diehard Pangs fan. Sorry for interrupting the game. It ended up getting real tight, and I think they ended up losing the game. I'm sorry about that, my guy. But it is what it is. It's hockey. Thank you for coming on the show, though. I really appreciate it. I know some of you out there are probably about shy about coming on the show. That's fine. You could do what Brian did here and not even turn on your video. I just want to talk to you, and then we'll work something out. But if you don't even want to come on, just tell me no. But I will be hitting some of you up. Thanks again, Brian, for giving me the time, and I really appreciate that, my dude. So let's get into a little bit of recap. We went 1-on-1 on the weekend, still first place. My 3 stars were Rothke, Grimaldi, and Edwards. Big thanks to Brian Coulson for joining me as my fan interview for the week. I really appreciate it, man. Been a while since I've had one of those, so it's really awesome for me. I really like that. Appreciate it, my guy. Big game tonight, 7 o'clock. It moved from Rock Springs to here at the Mountain America Center. 7:05 puck drop. Get there. We're playing the Rock Springs Grizzlies. They're kind of on a come up themselves. They've been hot lately. We got to shut them down and show out for this team. We need to do what we can. So let's show up, show out for these boys, because they do it for us every single week, regardless of the W or the L. Let's show up for these guys. Then we follow up tomorrow night. We also have Rock Springs in town. Also 7 o'clock, puck drop. Come on out. Please support these guys. Like I said earlier, I think we only have 9 total games left on the season. So this is not very many opportunities, and we have even less of that at home. We have like these 2 games, and I think 3 or 4 more in March, and that's it, guys. That's it for home until the playoffs. So if you want a chance to see these boys, tonight's the night, because this was an unannounced game. I think there still is some tickets available. I looked on earlier, and I believe there's still tickets available. So get on there, get you some tickets, go out, go watch the game. Unless I get an invite, I'll be watching here from home. I think I might be good enough to go to a game, but not being able to work a lot lately, I'm a little low on funds. So as far as that's concerned, I'll be watching here unless somebody's like, hey, got a ticket, want to come? I might be able to do something like that today. So, all that being said, I would love you guys to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on X. Give me some likes. Give me some subscribes also on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Please, I need those. And if you really, 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 really get the chance, please leave me a 5-star review. All of these things help me a lot. It helps me get put into the shuffle, into the Spotify commercials for the non-premium listeners. It helps me also on YouTube get a little bit of advertisement. And every one of these likes, comments, and subscribes help. Doesn't matter which one of these things you go, because they're all linked together under my distributor. So just go out there, like, subscribe, follow. Please do what you can. Help a brother out. It really helps me out in the end. It really does. It's a whole new world out there. And unless you get these follows, likes, subscribes, and all these daily viewers and stuff, it really doesn't help much. But I do this for you guys, not for me. I just want you to do a little bit of help for me. This is for you, the Spud Kingdom. I am one of those of the Spud Kingdom. So with that all being said, let's get out there and cheer our boys on tonight and tomorrow night. And go Spud King.
K-I-N-G, kings, meaning we seen things, and without a cheat sheet, a walking beast, no wanting peace until I'm knee deep in the rewards I need to retrieve. Keep the receipt once I receive what I work for, but never relieve. Better watch out, if you don't move, get ready to fall down. If you don't root for my side, I'm not proud. Like what you talking about, I'll pop out, even if it's hard out. Somebody let the dogs out, like they're coming for the dog out before being brought out. Whoa, they might need to keep me locked out, because I will stomp in my stomping grounds. So let's know this is Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud. Any day, any night, on site, alright, let's go. Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud. on tight, alright, let's go.